Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Anuj Tiwari. I am Assistant Professor in Faculty of Agricultural Sciences and Allied Industries in Rama University, Kanpur. Today we are going to discuss about diseases and pest management in organic farming. So basically the agriculture has a vast range of activities in which we grew from the subsistence farming to commercial farming and then for sustainable farming. There were some drawbacks of commercial farming that various diseases and pest resistance were developed due to the indiscriminate use of synthetic pesticides and chemicals. So, in organic farming we are going to just replace these synthetically compounded fertilizers with the methods and knowledge and some special formulations of bio agents and some biochemicals for the diseases and pest management. Here the first method is of cultural method. So basically cultural methods include those methods which are important for the mechanical manipulation of the soil, and various indiscriminate uses of the pesticides were also should be manipulated. In cultural methods, we are going to discuss about some tillage operations, the field and plant sanitation, crop rotation and growing of the pest resistant varieties. So basically tillage operation include the mechanical manipulation of the soil so that the insect population, or we can say the weed and diseases spores can be reduced, or their population can be reduced in such a level that they can't harm the our plant population. In field and plant sanitation process, we usually sanitize the field and plant. So now you would be thinking, how can we sanitize our field and plants? So basically we have to sanitize our field in such a way so that the pest and diseases both. Here the pest we do not need any type of alternate host. So basically when we are discussing about the field sanitation, we are going to remove all those alternate hosts which may be a good host for the pest. So basically these alternate host of the plants, and in we can say that in some mechanical manipulation of the plant and some tillage operation can also be done. And in plant sanitization we usually sanitize our planting material. We before we are going to plant some vegetative part of any plant, or we are going to plant some seedling, or we are just going to sow some seeds. So we have to sanitize all those things so that the diseases spore which are already occurring on those planting material, either in the vegetative part or in the seedling part. So these all spores can be reduced to a minimum level so that they can't harm to the main crop when it grows to its full bloom. In crop rotation, we usually rotate the crop. There are two benefits of crop rotation. Firstly, if we use the leguminous crop in such a way that the nitrogenous substance which are used from the previous crop can also be fixed by the leguminous plants, because those leguminous plants usually use the nitrogen and make them available for the plant. And the second benefit of this crop rotation is like that diseases and pest spores, basically the spores of the diseases and the insect, or we can say that the pest population or their eggs can also be reduced to at minimum level. So basically crop rotation is more advantageous in the cultural method if we are going to manage the diseases and pest in organic farming. And the next option is growing of pest resistant variety. Basically here we are going to use some resistant varieties. You can easily check what are the resistant varieties available in your locality, and after checking all those lists, you can simply select and use good planting material for your crop, and the pest resistant varieties will help you to easily manage the pest population in organic farming. Now we are going to discuss about trap cropping. So basically there are some crops which are used as a trap crop for the pest population. Basically these crops are those crops which have good aroma, and usually in these plants the pests are attracted toward these plants. So there are chances that the plant which we are using as a trap crop are used by the insects, and our main crop can be managed easily, and there might be not those insect infestations. The next one is the water management. Here we are going to discuss about how we can judicially use the water for our crop. If we use the scientific way of applying water to those crops, we can minimize the risk of weed infestation as well as the pest infestation. Usually it happens with the spore of diseases. Like if we are not using the water as a efficient way, the spore of the diseases can be communicated easily throughout the field, and it may infest the whole crop. The last one is the adjusting time of sowing. Basically we have to notice that whether it is the time of that specific infestation of the pest or that specific sporadic disease, anything it can happen. So basically when we are discussing about the adjusting time of sowing, we are managing our time of sowing in such a way that whenever the insect infestation attracts to our crop, that time can be skipped, either 15 days of before of that infestation or 15 days after that infestation. Usually if we talk about some mustard crop, there are some aphids which are attracted toward the yellow color of the flowers. So if we adjust our time of sowing, we can check those infestation of aphids, like when the swarming of those things happen, they can easily deteriorate to other crop, and they can check the infestation of our mustard crop. Now we are going to discuss about some mechanical methods. Here we are discussing about use of pheromones and light traps. So basically class, you might have heard about some pheromones that are used to attract the opposite gender of the insects. So basically these are the traps which are installed in the field, and usually the male insect attract toward that pheromone, and they are trapped inside that insect trap. So we can check our insect population with these traps, and in some cases we can use some light traps. Here we use some lights to attract those insects, and when they come to those part of the light, they are easily trapped. So this is a method where we are not using any kind of synthetically compounded pesticides. So in organic farming it is important that we properly check all those entries of synthetically compounded pesticides in our field. And the second one is use of yellow sticky trap. You might have heard that aphids usually attract toward the yellow color of the flowers which are found in the mustard field. So when we are using the yellow sticky traps, these are the basically yellow sticky papers which are installed in the field, and the aphids usually attract toward those yellow colors, and whenever they sit on it, they are easily trapped on that part of the paper. The next one is the erecting bird perches. Usually erecting the bird perches can be an easy and effective method to manage the insect population in our crop. Here we can do like those bird perches which are especially feeding on those insects should be installed, not those bird perches should be installed which are feeding on the crop. So here the farmers should know properly that whatever bird perches we are using to erect are specifically feeding on those insects which are severely infested in our crop. Soil solarization is a process in which the pest management can be effectively done by solarize those soil. Like if we do the summer deep plowing, the sun in the hot summer weather can easily destruct the insect population and instruct the inoculum, disease inoculum basically. So, this is an effective method in organic farming for diseases and pest management. Next, use of the nylon trap. Basically, this net is used to collect those insects which are easily collected if we use some mechanical methods like some net, etc. Hot water treatment. Here we usually make some hot water to prevent our diseases whenever it is seed borne. So, all those seed borne diseases can be effectively managed. Usually 55-degree temperature is used for 25 minutes. All the seeding material which we are going to plant are treated with some hot water. So, all the diseases spores or the eggs of the insects are easily destructed, and they are unable to reach to our field, and if they are not reached to our field, they cannot severely affect to our plant population, and we can easily manage all those diseases and pests in our farm organically. It was all for today's topic. Thank you for listening.